Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. As promised, I am doing a update about some glitches that I've run into and just to pretty much let you know what is going on. So I'm not going to do too much jabbing. I'm going to get right into it. I just took a shower, so I apologize. It has been raining, thundering, lightning here, and I wanted to actually wait till after I took a shower when the lightning stopped and that to actually do this video because when storming, our internet often goes on and off a few seconds here and there. Bit of a pain, but it is what it is. So first of all, I told you in my last update video about a wonderful blessing we received. My mom's cousin sent us a check, and it is a blessing. However, I ran into a problem cashing it. Now, I don't have a normal walk-in bank. I've used an online bank for several years, and I have in the past used what's called a mobile check capture. Both my PayPal and NetSpend have that feature, and they work with a business called Ingo. The only time I had an issue cashing a check was when I had received the check for $280 after the hearing in Hazleton weeks ago in regards to my security deposit. I had assumed because the check was dated for back in April, that was why they would not accept it. And Alex used Cash App to send me the money. So that worked out fine. I voided out the check, sent a picture of it to him, done deal. But in Ellen's case, um, they would not allow me to deposit. Now it's through Chase Bank, as I said before, and it's a valid check. The money is there. Um, but they really would not give me a reason as to why. Um, just for whatever reason, they didn't. And I tried it 3 different times, both using NetSpend and PayPal. It didn't work. So Ellen asked me to send the check back. And when she gets a check back, she's going back to her bank and they're going to see what other ways they could go about getting this money to me since a check is not going to work. So that's the update with that. Ronnie actually walked it up to the mailbox this afternoon, and it'll be picked up tomorrow morning and back on its way to Arizona. I don't know why she is hesitant about sending a money order, but yet doesn't have an issue with me sending a check for a large sum of money in an envelope inside an envelope. It, I don't know, it seems a little bit odd, but I mean, what am I going to say, you know? Um, I think if they could do an electronic balance transfer from one of her accounts to my account would probably be the easiest, would be quick. Another option would be to go to Walmart and purchase a money order for that amount. And go to Dollar Tree, get one of them bubble wrap inside envelopes, padded envelopes, and send it to me. I would receive it. Um, Western Union even, MoneyGram, I mean, there is different options. I don't know why she just seems to rely on solely her bank for everything, but again, um, you know, it is what it is. I'm not going to badger someone who tried to help me out, you know. So that's the little glitch I ran into with that situation. Next is transportation. It has gotten to the point that really the only person we can rely on now for a ride is Techie's dad. Now, he's an elderly gentleman, lives in Hazleton, and it does bother me. It bothers me a lot that, he has to drive from Hazleton down here, um, take her or me, should the situation arise, and then have to go all the way back to Hazleton. And I mean, even though he enjoys being down here and spend time with everybody, it's still the idea that it's a decent amount of gas each day that, the man uses. Um, and so what happened basically was there was a gentleman that we used to get rides from, but he came to abuse that situation. He expected us to provide him with basically an almost full tank of gas, buy him food, buy him cigarettes on top of, the gas issue. And there were times that we did in fact give him money so he could put gas in his car like the following day, only to find out that he didn't use it for gas. And then, say, if we needed him to go somewhere the next day, he's crying he has half a tank of gas or whatever. Well, we gave you money. What did you do with it? So that was when we stopped giving him cash. And I would strictly use my debit card to pay for gas. And that worked out good. But he just started getting out of hand. He also was making unwanted advances against the two of us. We wound up basically letting his girlfriend know about what he was doing. And pretty much just, he does not bother either one of us. He's gotten very nasty, very rude. Now, his girlfriend, in turn, um, you know, was able to give us a ride a couple of times, but her car needs work. And right now, she just doesn't have the money to get the work done. So her vehicle is not running. So right now, it has gotten to the point that I can't even get to the pharmacy for the moment. And on top of that, there's something odd with this pharmacy, the Matcha pharmacy. And my rheumatologist sent a new script over for my Lyrica, not once, not twice, but 3 different times. And essentially, they claim they never received it. So my rheumatologist's office is really fit to be tied. Um, it seems that nobody from the pharmacy will return their calls. And I, in desperation, because I've also missed a few doctor's appointments simply because of our ride situation at the moment, I resorted to calling my insurance up. Now, why I never thought about doing this before, I don't know. But when you have so many things on your mind, sometimes something simple and what seems like common sense doesn't always pop to the top of the list. So, in calling my insurance yesterday, they basically had said that I could register for a transportation van, a shared ride service in this county. So I went online to apply for that. The problem with that is there's a form that has to be filled out by a doctor. I had a new family doctor, but he left the practice. And I'm actually scheduled on the 13th to see another new doctor. But I'm not going to be able to get there if I don't have the transportation service. So I'm waiting for a call back tomorrow to figure out how to do this because I also have a mammogram coming up later this month. And again, they're both in Hazleton, and I'm not going to be able to get to either appointment. My heart doctor sent me a letter, and I have to call them up tomorrow and explain to them that Geisinger is having a case manager come to the house here on the 14th who wants to do an assessment of everything and see what they can help me with. I may be eligible to get my scripts mailed to me for the moment, which is good. My main concern is rescheduling these appointments and getting things done that I wanted to get done prior to leaving. Simply because that way I would have newer information to work with when I switched doctors in South Carolina. Um, but now I have this, situation arise that I can't have a doctor fill out the form because I never seen this new family doctor. And the office isn't going to fill out a paper for me um, until I actually see the gentleman. So I don't know. I hope they have some other option available for me. Then my caseworker from back in Hazleton contacted me because I changed my address with my medical to pursue this situation with the transportation for my appointments. Um, she had said that my food stamps technically were closed several days ago, which I was unaware of. No notice of anything was ever forwarded to me here at this address. And so I didn't understand, what you were talking about at first, and then it dawned on me I was on a 2-year renewal, so the 2 years were actually up the end of August, beginning of September. And I thought, oh God, great, here we go. More nonsense. So I had to go back on and reapply for them. And some of the things that they want me to send over um, are a little bit confusing because I basically explained in detail my whole situation and where I've been, where I bounced around at, and how long I've been here, and what my future plans are. What it basically boils down to is I hesitated changing my address with certain things because of the girl that used to stay here prior that had the children. Because it could have caused a big conflict between her and her situation and me with mine. And so that was actually part of the reason. Also, she was apparently going to be getting an apartment in maybe 2 months or so. So I had thought, well, if everything works out the way I would like it to, I should be, leaving behind you. Well, things transpired the way they did, and she wound up leaving sooner than what she originally planned. Um, that's a story that I will not discuss. That is private. But suffice to say that she obviously is moved up on a waiting list because she has children. Um, so yeah, there's going to be a case manager, which I believe I remember receiving some sort of a flyer or something about this. It was a program that Geisinger had started. I didn't know that they actually will assign case managers. So that's kind of interesting to see. Maybe they know things I don't. But now I learned of something that may be able to help as far as with moving costs going to South Carolina. It's a private grant and you have to apply for it online. There's no guarantee that you get it or anything like that, but my caseworker in Hazleton knows about it because apparently she's already dealt with 4 different clients this week who lost their home because of the property being sold. And one of the clients told her they were considering just, I don't know, I guess going back to wherever they had originally lived. And they had told her they applied for something, it's some private charity. So I'm actually going to look into that, fill it out. I mean, it isn't going to hurt, because I don't know how, long I'm going to have to wait for the situation with my mom's cousin and that money to get straightened out. I don't know how long I'm going to have to wait with this transportation thing, if that's going to work out, or if that's just not going to be doable. because of paperwork and not being able to get someone to sign it if I've never seen the person yet. Um, Everything else, I mean, on a good note, Ronnie can get his medical bills back from weeks ago when he was in ER. He can get that covered, which is a good thing. But my situation is a little bit more um, complicated. Now, my caseworker told me that in some counties, Salvation Army will help people with moving costs, um, like towards getting a moving vehicle. And there is no Salvation Army in this general area. There's also no Catholic Social Services in this immediate area. Um, so those were two things that were, given to me, and I said, well, I already looked into the one a while ago. Now, Catholic Social Services up in Scranton up in Scranton has subsidized apartments for women with children. And in Wilkes-Barre, they run some sort of program like that, but it's women with children under 18, not for single people in my category. And it was interesting, though, because at the end of the conversation, my caseworker says to me, well, I wish you luck and I hope you do get the heck out of PA. She said, because they don't do enough for people. They're all about landlords, they're all about property owners because that's how they get their taxes. And she said they're all about bringing in the money, but not doing a whole heck of a lot to help people. Money goes into people's pockets more than it does to organizations that actually do help people. Luzerne County is a very corrupt county. I know there's others in PA, but having been born and raised there, and trust me, I know Kids for Cash was a big one that put Luzerne County on nationwide news years ago. That's just a perfect example of a juvenile court system. Believe me, I could tell you some horror stories, things I've heard from people about the adult court system. Things that my own ex-boyfriend years ago told me about police and different magistrates and things. Some very unnerving stuff. Not surprising, but still, nonetheless, very, very disturbing. So pretty much for the moment, I need to get the transportation issue resolved somehow, some way. If not before the 14th, at least hopefully by the 14th, she can figure out some other option that I might have. Because there is no buses down here. This is private development, and there's just not buses that go through here. Considering these are expensive homes and, people have their own vehicles. We're sort of the oddballs out for the moment. And I think part of the issue is that I honestly can't remember, having lived in Hazleton 90% of my life, I can't remember if my old family doctor did fill out something for me to register with Shared Ride years ago. A part of me is thinking no, that was based on my medical assistance. But in this case, it may be more that they, nothing in the application gave me the opportunity to explain to them, I don't need it for here. I need it for going to a different county. And that presents its own thing of issues because technically Carbon County can transport you to Luzerne. There's a special form for that each doctor you go to has to fill out and fax back prior to your appointment so they get paid. And again, as I said, I don't believe that my doctor's office is going to fill it out when this doctor has never seen me. So I don't know. I have more phone calls being returned to me tomorrow, and hopefully I can get a little bit more streamlined answers and figure out what else I can possibly do. I'm also going to, before I go to sleep tonight, fill out that grant form and, see what happens with that. At this point in time, that's pretty much all I can do because until I get that money situation straightened out with my mom's cousin, I'm still going to be short money. And I really have no choice but to wait until that in and of itself gets straightened out. Um, a friend of mine started a fundraiser for me on PayPal, something called the Generosity Network. Um, she set that up for me. And then another friend of mine started something through Fundraiser. It's similar to GoFundMe. Um, as I've said before, I didn't want to do anything like that because um, them type of things seem to inspire the worst in people. And some people really love to leave rude comments. And yeah, so I haven't even actually checked it or anything. I didn't get any notifications about it. It has been up and running for, I believe, 3 days. So I imagine that um, so far there hasn't been any negative comments. As I said, I didn't want to do that, but if somebody else wanted to do it, I wasn't going to tell them no. It's just not something because I just don't want to deal with people's negativity in situations like that. So then in closing this video, for the moment, that is where everything stands. I have to be able to get to my appointments. I have to be able to get my scripts and get that mess straightened out with the pharmacy. Um, and if the shared ride doesn't work, I hope there's some other type of option because Lyft could run me as much as $45 to $50 um, just one way to go to Hazleton from here. And that's ridiculous. Nobody should have to pay that much money to go to a doctor's appointment. So I'm hoping there's a cheaper alternative to that. Now, at one time there used to actually be buses running from Hazleton to Jim Thorpe, but there isn't any more. If there was, I could actually get a bus ticket then, to go. But it would still put me in the situation of getting from here to a bus station. So again, it's the idea of getting out of here to wherever you need to go, even if it is still, Jim Thorpe. So yeah, it's challenging. It's very, very challenging to say the least. Uh, so yeah, that is pretty much for the moment what is going on. Um, as I said, a lot of it is paperwork and glitches. And oh yes, I did get yelled at. I got yelled at by the lady through my insurance, and she had said to me, "Why didn't you stay in your hometown?" I said to her, "I thought I just explained to you I had to move." "I understand, but Why didn't you go to a hotel? Ah, because a hotel ran me $1,072 for 2 weeks. Not exactly cheap. Well, you could have went to a shelter. Shelter's good for 30 days, and then boom, you're back out on the street. So really, what options did I have? I could have hopped a bus and went up to Wolf's Fair, but again, you would be doing the bouncing shelter route. And after so many places, boom, you're right back in the same situation. The problem is they're not permanent housing. They're not even transitional. They're just shelters. And while they are beneficial, um, they really can't connect people with housing because the rents have just gotten so out of hand. And I said to this case manager when I talked to her on the phone today, when she set up the appointment for me for next week, I said to her, my ultimate goal is to get the hell out of PA. Just bottom line. I said to her, it makes no sense for anybody from, Geisinger or from Bureau of Aging, because Bureau of Aging is the one that actually gave me the phone number for the shared ride system here in Carbon County. I could not find the correct phone number. It was crazy. A number that I kept calling was not the correct phone number. They actually were the ones who gave me the correct number. And they yelled at me. They don't quite seem to understand, that, yeah, it's easy to say to someone, well, you know where everything is now. Yes, absolutely, you're 100% correct. But where was I going to live? That was the bottom line. Where was I going to live? So even if Ronnie and I invested in good camping gear and we basically camped out for the summer, what were we going to do come the winter? That really changes the whole outdoor living thing a lot. So then you have people who go the opposite way and say, well, if you can't afford anything in your area, move. Okay. Again, easier said than done. It takes money. If you have no belongings, you can just get a one-way bus ticket and you're gone. But if you have household items and you have furniture and you have personal things and you have pets, you can't just go that route. I mean, if you drive, yeah, it's a little easier. You can maybe connect a trailer to your car and you can hit the road. But again, you still need money to pay for that. You need money for gas. It's not so easy to do. So, you have like some people in some organizations saying, oh, well, you should have stayed put. No idea where I was supposed to stay, but they think I should stay put. And then you have other people saying, well, you should leave. Okay, great. How do you, expect people to up and do this if there's no help out there for them to actually do so? Because at the end of the day, it makes more sense, in my way of thinking, to help someone leave state, go somewhere where they have a guaranteed place waiting for them that they can afford, than make them stay in the state or in the county where they have nothing. That just seems ridiculous. Um, and it makes no sense. So there's other phone calls I'm going to be trying to make and try to find out more tomorrow as much as possible. Um, so yeah, I got bitched at today and I just replied, okay, where would you like me to stay? Like, seriously, where would you like me to stay? I wasn't going to go pay $50 a night at a diving motel where the doors don't lock, the beds are disgusting and decrepit, bed bugs are rampant, and there's nothing but drugs and prostitutes. So I could have my belongings robbed when I'm not there? Yeah, no. I did at least pay for the comfort and security of having a key card and housekeeping daily and nice, clean, safe room to, stay in. So in in regards to hotels, a lot of times you get what you pay for. And if you can't afford something decent, do you really want to stay in a divey situation though either? No, not if you don't want to get robbed. Or maybe, have to deal with people you'd rather not deal with. So I just wanted to let you guys know everything that is going on. And, you know, uh, keep you guys updated. I wish, I can't wait for the day that I can actually do one of these videos that is a little more positive. Um, I'm not upset. I'm not angry. I mean, I think if things actually went smoothly for me, I would be actually scared. I'd be thinking, oh God, what's going to backfire on me down the road? Because bumps in the road and glitches and everything is pretty much a story of my life. You either go under it, through it, above it, around it, but somehow you get it the hell out of your way. And so I'm, not even upset about this. The paperwork aspect of it is annoying. Um, and I just have to deal with it. I really have no choice. So, take care, everyone. I hope you all are doing safe. Just want to say thank you so much for staying with my channel. And I will see everyone on my next one. Take care, guys.